Good morning, Kindle Kids, and welcome to your Tuesday, February 23rd. Really kind of cool part of history here. Just like we're doing the beginnings of our vaccination right now for the coronavirus, back this day in history, in 1954, the polio vaccines had just started to go out to the public. And that's really kind of a cool thing, was this Dr. Jonah Salk was the one who developed the vaccine, and it made a huge difference in the health of everyday Americans and people all around the world. In fact, this is a disease that mainly afflicted, at least horribly so, children, which is really kind of an awful thing. It was a disease that could set in early in childhood and would cause some major problems. So Dr. Salk went around trying to make sure that everybody got a chance to get the vaccine, and it became a huge national drive. And this disease has been around since ancient times, in fact. There's even hieroglyphs right here you can see showing people with underdeveloped legs, most likely from the polio virus. So what ends up happening is that this virus would attack you and just give you basically like a bad cold, and then would crop back up later in some people, like 1 out of 20 with this inflammation in the spinal cord. And then 1 out of 200 people or so would end up having paralysis. They would lose the ability to use their legs, and their legs would basically atrophy, would wither away. And that was kind of a horrible, horrible thing. Really famously so, FDR, one of our presidents, ended up actually having polio at a younger age, and then got the major symptoms that are paralysis when he turned in his mid-30s. So he lost the ability to walk, and for a large portion of his life was confined to a wheelchair because of that. But because of the vaccine, many, many people have been saved kind of that horrible set of symptoms. That actually, to put it in perspective, the CDC actually ran the numbers, and it has saved over the course of the years since I believe they said 88, 40 to 50 billion dollars. That's what it's going to look like by the year 2035. It will have saved 13 million people from the paralysis, the loss of their legs, and then also it will have saved over 650,000 people from dying from polio. So it's pretty incredible what's been done through vaccination. So, pretty cool thing that this time in history where we are now is another giant vaccination drive worldwide. We were able to basically eradicate polio. It's more than 99% cured, gone from infections around the world naturally. So hopefully we can do that with the coronavirus as well. So there's a little hope in your day right there, guys. Anyways, since we have that hope, let's put our hands over our hearts, find the flag in the room, and please rise for the flag salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please be seated. All right there, Kindle kiddos. Let's talk about food. Well, today we have a ham sandwich, or nachos el grande, with salsa, vegetarian beans, mixed vegetables, mixed fruit, and milk. So what's going on with the weather, you might ask? Well, guess what? Very similar to yesterday, we're going to be having a warm-up. Today's going to be one of the warmest days of the week. Wednesday will be the big warm-up day with a high of about 40 degrees. There will potentially be a little bit of snowfall left from the higher altitude cold, but that will basically melt as soon as it hits the ground. We might get an inch or so kind of slushy stuff that might make the commute a little harder at the end of the day, but very likely we won't see any actual accumulation or any of that snow really sticking. Mostly it's going to be a day of melting, kind of wet soppiness outside. So that does bring into question whether today will be an outdoor recess day. A little bit unknown because it's going to be kind of wet and mucky, so that might make it a little harder to deal with. But, in terms of temperature, it should be very passable for today. Tomorrow it's going to be even warmer, but also even wetter. Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, we're going to be a little more stable in the mid-30s to low 40s. And luckily, the sun will be making another appearance at the end of the week there from Thursday and Friday. So look forward to that. But for the most part, get ready for that melt and that wetness outside. So if you do get a chance to get outside, Remember to dress appropriately. Make sure you've got waterproof boots of some level on your feet, or else you will really get wet and muddy, and we do not want that. A quick side note in science, guys, really exciting. We actually have another rover on Mars. So really, really cool thing. We have just landed this basically giant remote control car. When I say giant, I mean the size of an actual car on another planet. And that's really cool. It's gotten a chance to take a couple selfies, and you can see it is really, really amazing. And really kind of cool thing is just how much extra science this rover is bringing onto the planet. So it's actually going to be looking, crazily enough, for signs of water. So we actually landed it in a place where we think, or at least scientists think, water once was, and then is going to look for evidence of past alien life. That's pretty amazing, but not really alien life like that, or like you see in the movies, probably more like bacteria, or maybe this is very lovable water bear right here. If you were wondering about it, it's actually a simple organism that can, in fact, survive in harsh conditions, like actually space. It can, survive in kind of a little hibernation mode for a while there. If you want to know more about that, check out, there's actually a Wildcrafts episode on water bear. So really kind of cool thing. So now that we know that, let's finish the announcements of the Kindle mission statement. The mission of the Kendall Central School District is to provide the knowledge, skills, values, and attitudes needed by students to live responsibly and to compete successfully in today's and tomorrow's world. So I hope you guys will grow up to get a chance to explore other planets. But until you do, I want to see you in art class, and remember to stay colorful, Kendall.